Just pressure the elbow.
Justin is
So the first detail, we have to work the legs over his back. That's gonna block him from coming up. My feet have to be crossed and live. They are controlling his back. I will lock my knees on his back. I will control his elbow, but he will make the defense because he knows I'm attacking his arm. Now I'll turn my leg to the same side that the arm I want. And now I will sit up and stand up. Now the first move, I will stretch my legs here. And I will control his hips. I don't have to hold his gi. I can have my hand loose here. This is important. You don't really have to hold the gi. Now with my legs straight, I will pass my left leg underneath my right leg. And now I will make the technical stand up. But now this is the detail. I will not go towards the side. I will go straight. There's no need to go to the side. It is stronger when I go straight. I can prove that going to the side. By the time it takes for him to tap, the pain that he feels here takes longer to hurt than the one that goes here. So one more time. I will control his elbow. I'll lock my legs over his back firmly. He knows I'm going to attack his arm. Then he will make the defense for the arm lock. Now I will use my leg. I will release them, pass it over the shoulder, put his head on the ground, stretch my legs. I'm locking his hips and my foot is live. Now I'll cross my legs and instead of going to the side, I'll go straight. If he's very flexible, I can go straight and then towards the side. That will make him tap. He locks my back. He got my elbow. I know he's attacking the arm lock. I make the defense. He passes his legs over my shoulder, crosses his legs, and comes straight. Now I will make the same attack. I'll lock his elbow. I'll cross my legs over his back and my foot is live. Now I'll go for his shoulder with my leg. This way. And now I can lock his arm in this position first, then in this one or in even this one. Now let me show you. So he postures up a little bit. I'll lock his elbow. I'm not going straight for the arm lock. First, I'll go for his elbow. And I'll do it without putting my foot over his hip. I'll just bring my legs up with my stomach. Now, here's a detail. If this leg is locking the shoulder, the other one makes the lock. This is very important because this position is one thing and this one is another one. See? So when I climb my legs to his shoulder, the one that goes to the shoulder is the one that goes below. And the other one closes the lock. This pressure here makes that he will stretch his arm automatically. Now I will bring his arm this way and my knee to the other way. Now if he is a stronger guy, this is how I'll get him. Now if he comes back, I'll come to the hand lock. The legs are locking the back. My feet are crossed and live. Now I'll block his elbow. He will posture up a little bit. I'll bring my legs over his shoulder. When my leg goes up, look how his arms comes down. First, I'll go for the side torsion. If he postures up, I'll lock his arm. If he comes down, hand lock. I'll lock my elbow, and he'll posture up his legs. When he does that, I will posture up a little bit, naturally. So what I'll do is I'll lock my elbow, and he'll throw it to the side. See? He also needs to stretch this knee here. See? Like this. Now here. Now what I'll do is try to stretch it up here. I'll posture up, and he goes for the arm lock. If I try to come down, then he goes for the hand lock. Okay, this time I will pass the arm lock, the same thing. Here's a detail I haven't showed you. So same thing, I will lock my legs over his back, I will close the lock, locking his back. and he'll try to posture up, and I will block his elbow. Here's the detail. I will not block his elbow from below his arm, it's from over his arm. Because with only one grip, I will hold both of his arms. For a moment, he will not notice that I'm holding both of his arms, but soon he will. When I'm locking his elbow here, it's not that I'll be holding this all the time. I will lock it to the point that he will not notice that I'm attacking both of his arms. Until he notices that he is locked, he could attack from both sides. So now I will pass to the arm lock. For those who are flexible, you can move your leg directly to the arm lock. For those who are not that flexible, we will step on his hips and use the other leg to move over and move him to the side. And then I'll pass to the arm. Here one more time. I will cross my legs over his back. I will lock his elbow here. I will step on his hips to the same side of the arm that I want to get. The other leg will work as I was doing an Omoplata. It will hit the opponent and put him down. It makes it easier to pass my leg over. When I pass my leg here, this is a detail. I will not keep them closed here. I will spread them a little bit. After, I'll tell you why. Here, I already got his arm. Now, if I'm flexible, I can go from here straight to the arm lock, passing my legs. But usually, people are not that flexible, so they need to use the help of their foot. So I will lock his elbow, holding both of his arms. This is very important. I will make him slower on that side. I will step on his hips, and this leg will make the same movement as the Omoplata. It will go to his back and put him down. Here's another important detail. When I'm here, he can stand up. I will need to make a lot of power to keep him down. Now, with this little detail of spreading my knees a little bit, it will make it much harder for him to stand up, because now it's much better for me to control him with my legs. Here, I submit him. Let's go one more time. I will control his elbow. His back is locked with my legs. My feet are live, and I'm locking at the center of his back. I will step at the same side of the arm that I want to get. On the other side, I will make the same move as the Omoplata. I'll put his hips down, and it will make it easier for me to pass my leg over his head. Here's the detail. Here, Daniel has enough power to stand up, and here I need to fight to keep him down. So to avoid that, what I'll do is I'll spread my knees a little bit so I can have better control of his body and go for the submission. Then I will go straight to the arm lock. Raise your leg a little bit. There you go. Now you finalize. Now for the other side. He'll hold my elbow. He'll step on my hips. He'll pass the leg, bring the other one, spread his leg, and finalize. Teste. Vamos lá. So let's do it. When he notices that I've got his elbow, he will posture up. He's up there. Now, let's say that he's blocking my leg right here. So he will rise up his leg and block my leg. That's his defense. Once he blocks my leg, I can't move anything. So I can't do that move I just showed you. So I will attack his collar and bring him down. I won't let him posture up. Now he's down. Now, this hand here that was holding his elbow, it will go towards his lapel. Now I will use the hand that is holding his collar to make the space I need to bring my hand inside his neck. Look that up, how deep I'm going. Let me change size to show you better. So here we are at the same point, he's defending, and my hand is already on his collar. I will open his collar, and the hand that was on his elbow will come now to his neck. Look how deep I go here. He's already feeling pressure on his veins here. I can tell by the color of his eyes that he's already losing blood on his head. This is the movement that my hand will do inside his collar. I will turn my wrist and pull it down. When it's down, I can control his posture and the blood in his head. He will keep pressuring. This hand, I will bring it below his neck. It doesn't have to go very up on his gi. It doesn't have to be very up on his collar. Here I will only work the choke. There's no pressure for pain. I will not pressure his cervical. I will only choke from below here. The hand on his neck doesn't move anymore. Everything will be on the hand below his neck. I will pull it and stop. I will block his neck veins on both sides. So here, one more time. I will attack his elbow and he will posture up. With this hand, I will attack the back of his neck. This way, I will block him from posture up. Now, with the hand that I used to hold his arm, I will attack his neck. Now I will pass that hand to his neck. Look how I pass it over, and notice how I hold his collar. I will dive my hand in and hold it like this, like a boxing fist. I will close my fist and add power to it. Once I do that, I will start blocking the blood on his head, on his left side. When this hand goes in, it will go very deep and very low on his gi. It doesn't have to be much high on his collar. Usually the higher the better, but it's hard because of the amount of cloth and for his position. So that's why I hold it here. Okay, now here's the detail. Look at my elbow. I will not pull it up. I will pull it down as I was pulling my elbow on the ground. The hand on his collar, I will keep it at a constant power, enough to keep him down. After I got the collar here, I will keep pulling it until he taps. I cannot pull it and let it go, otherwise the blood will move in his neck. I have to find the right point, hold my hand still, and with the hand from below, I will keep pulling it at a constant power and keep pulling it constantly until he taps. It will block the blood in his head. This move is not by the lack of air or by pain. It's by the miss of blood in the head. So one more time. I will bring my hand over the back of his collar. Then I'll bring the other hand below his neck and hold the collar. And I'll keep bringing the cloth until he taps. And this in a fast pace will be pretty much like this. I will block his elbow and he'll posture up. I will go for his neck now. When he tries to posture back, I will hold his back with the triangle. Now when he goes back and I have the chance, I will change hands in the back of his collar. Now I'll come back to this position. I will hold his collar and pull my arm till he taps. Okay, so far Daniel have noticed that it's bad for him to hold on my collar, because this way I will block his elbow and his arm right here. So instead of holding my collar, he will hold my armpits. He has two grips. He can hold with the lapel, or he can just hold on my arms, below my armpit. He can do it this way or with the lapel. So here's the reason why he must do it this way. Because this way he can control his elbows. Because if he does it this way, look, this way I can still hold his elbow here. So by putting his elbows down, he'll block his elbows. There's no way that I can attack him. I not even have any kind of movement here. So what I'll do is, I will position myself so I'll do a hand lock on him right here. So with my armpit, I will go around his elbow and bring his elbow towards me. Here is one more time. He'll block my arms with my armpit, and I can't do anything from here. I can't go anywhere. So the way to break his defense here is to use his hand as a lever. It's gonna be like I'm going to hold my leg. Then I will find the space to hold his elbow and will bring his elbow towards me. Here, one more time. Here I'm locked. I can't go anywhere from here. He's blocking my position. I can't get his neck. I can't get his elbows, anything. So what I'll do is this parallel attack. My left armpit will go around his hand. Here I will make the torsion on his hand. He's already feeling the pressure here. And here I have enough space to bring his elbow. I can either bring with this hand or the arm on the top. It will depend on the move at the time. Usually I come with my opposite hand from the elbow, and then with my other hand I will help bring his elbow together to make the torsion on his hand. The pressure comes right here. Here, from this position, as I start doing my natural base, look how then I will start involving me. So what I'll do, I have to defend myself. And I know that he's a guy that works the elbow, so I will either work his lapel or his armpit. Here I will go for his armpit. I gotta know what I'm gonna do. Look how I'm controlling his arms here. He can't do anything. My elbows are down. My posture, look, my spine is straight, my foot is live, and I'm blocking here because I'm avoiding him to get my elbow. So since he's know that, now he'll go with his hand and go around my elbow to perform the attack. I'm almost tapping right here, and here he got me. So what he'll do is, with his armpit, he'll go around my hand. Now he's stepping on my hips to help his body doing the torsion. This is a way for guys who are not very flexible. When he pulls my elbows, he's doing the opposite movement of my wrists. That's how he gets me. Okay, this time we're gonna make an attack to this hand. Now he'll attack here and posture up. That's exactly what he gotta do, so he can be up. Here I can't attack his neck or this arm. So what I'll do is I will use my leg to help me on the move, and with this arm I will attack his elbow. And this is the hand I'm gonna submit. I will make the pressure on here. This hand can be like this, or it can come below my armpit. It can go to both sides. It will depend on the way he holds and the way I get him. It's a double attack going for his hand and his elbow. So one more time. Daniel will hold my collar. He's holding both of my collars. When he notices that I'm going for his elbow, he'll posture up for defend himself. Here, he's blocking this elbow, and I can't get any more. When he postures up, he's blocking my hip right here, so I can't use this leg anywhere. My leg is locked, so I gotta go to the other side. So instead of going just with my arm, I will bring my leg to hold his arm here. I will block his elbow, and he'll pressure to posture up. See, I can't do anything else anymore because my left leg is locked. Now I will change sides. I will attack to the other side. So I will do the same move as the Omoplata. I will bring my leg and make pressure on his hand and his elbow. Look, pressure on the elbow and over the hand. This is the move. Here Daniel is attacking my elbow. I will posture up so I can defend myself. So what he will do is start the Omoplata move on the other side and start attacking my other elbow, also making the pressure on my hand. Look, and now he makes pressures on both hands and elbow. This time, now what he will do, he will posture up with his arm like he did before, and he will stand up. Once he's up, he will posture up and get me out of the ground. What I'll do is I will throw my head back and I'll pass my arm around his ankle and I'll sweep him down. And I'll end up holding his arm and his leg. There are two ways of standing up. The first one you can do in 3 moves. He'll posture up his arm, he'll step one of his legs, the other one, and then he'll get me out of the ground. That's one way. He'll make the high chair and I'll be sitting down on his knees. Or he can stand up at only one move. He will put his weight on my chest and go up. What I'll do is I will hold the side I want and I'll make a bridge behind. When I do that bridge, I will find his leg and will force my hips over his knee. My hips will pressure over his knee and that will take him down. One more time. Then I will posture up, and when he does that, I will go right away to my back, find his leg, and look how I will pressure my hips over his knee. And at the same time I make that pressure with my hips, I will bring his ankle down. I will make the pressure on his ankle to take him down. His legs will spread, and that's how I get him. He will posture up and get me out of the ground. When he does that, I will stretch myself, making the bridge, and will fight his ankle to make the pressure to put him down. With my hips, I will make the pressure on his knees, so he will open his knee to the side I want him to fall. When he does that, I will come up holding his arm and his leg. To stand up, I'll hit the pressure all at once on his chest and will come up. Look how my spine is straight, my foot is live. I will hit his chest and stand up. He have already locked my ankle, and now he'll hit a little bit and I will fall down. He comes up holding my leg and my arm. He'll posture up. When I did that, I will block his arm and I'll bridge down and will lock his hips, hit his ankle and come over him. Now from here, I will lock his leg so I can go on the leg lock. I will turn around and go for the leg lock. He'll posture up and stand up. When he does that, I'll make the bridge, come down. I'll pass my arm around his ankle, and my hips is making pressure on his knees. I'll hit his ankle and mount over him. And now I will go for the leg lock. Here I'll posture up. Notice how my foot is live. I'll hit his chest and take him out of the ground. Right there, he locks my ankle and comes over me. Now he'll change arms and goes for the leg lock. I will posture up. Notice how my spine is straight, how I'm looking straight. I'm holding his chest here. My feet are live so I can stand up easier. I'll hit his chest and stand up. When I'm up, he's already preparing his attack on my ankle and my knee. I'm down. Now he'll go up and attack the leg lock. If you have noticed, he can even have my arm locked between his legs. See, my arm is locked right here. Now I will show you that you can even do the leg lock before you get on the mount, in the middle of the way. This is how you do it. You do the same way. He will step up and bring me up. I will lock his ankle here, and I'll put my hip over his knee, and I'll open his posture. When he falls down, I'll go straight for the leg lock. Look, he'll posture up. I will set up, hold his ankle, have my hips over his knee, and when he tries to do that, to open the position, I will take him down, and in the middle of the way, I will go for the leg lock. It can go this way, or I can even hold with my armpit. Back in the day, I used to do this move this way. When he would posture up, I will turn my knees and put it in between his legs. I would make the sweep. But this one is not good anymore because my opponent have a good defense holding me down. Look, when I go here, he can block me holding my legs. And this way, I will lose the movement. It doesn't work for me anymore. So I have evolved the move to this point that we are now. Now I'll do another choke. In the same sequence, I have my legs up, my knees are blocking his back, my feet are holding his hips, and now he will hold my collars. He knows that I'm going to attack here, so he'll put his arms a little bit closer. I'll be able to get his elbow here, but here he'll start to posture up. And what I'll do is, I'll block him by holding his collar. If we were in a no-gi fight, I would hold his neck, just like a Muay Thai clinch. Since we have the gi, I will hold his collar, because I will need this collar to make my other hand comes in. So here I'm holding his elbow, and he will try to posture up. Look how I'm holding his collar. He knows I'm attacking his arm. So what he will do, he'll rise his other leg to block me. And at the same time, he'll try to posture up, and I'll block him here. Now I will open the collar and I'll pass the hand over the back. And he knows that this hand will go below my arm. So he'll keep defending that collar. He'll keep defending. And now what I'll do is use his own arm to choke him. I'll bring his elbow in here and make the choke. I bring his elbow towards me. What I'll do is my hand pass by his neck, holding his collar, and he'll block this gap below my arm. He'll try to block, he'll try to defend his collar here. My right arm has to get his right collar. See, I can't get it because he's holding it. So what I'll do is I will dive my arm in, try to find his elbow, and I'll bring his elbow towards me. That's the same pressure that I will do. I will use his elbow as it was his collar. So one more time. I will work his collar to not allow him to stand up. At the same time, I will open his collar so I can pass my arm here. And I'll put my hand very deep in his collar. And he knows that I'm going for his other cloth. And now he's blocking his collar, so I will not get it. So what I'll do is I need to make something different, which was bring my arm inside to bring his arm towards me to work as a collar for me so I can make the choke. He will open my collar and put his hand in. Now I will defend, protecting my collar. Now he'll get my arm and pull it towards him. So here I am locking him just the same as before. My feet are live, I'm locking them on his back, my knees are well locked on his ribs. Now I will attack his arm here and he's well postured. I'm changing my position, I'll go for a sweep. Now with this hand I will hold his cloth right here, and now I will lift my hips just a little bit so I can have enough space to pass my hand below his wrist. He has a good grip here on my collar. If I go with only one hand, I won't take it. If I try with only my right hand, I won't take it. So I gotta use both hands to lift his arm. I will lift my hips to create space to pass my hand below his wrist, and will hold my sleeve. I'll push him to the other side. Now I will change my grips, and I will hold on his back. It doesn't have to be on his armpit or his belt. Below his armpit, I can't find enough cloth, and his belt is way too down there. So it's better for me to hold the cloth in the middle of his back. Now, with my left leg, I will step it on the ground right by the side of his leg. It will work as a support to bring him over me. Now I will change hands and I have the attack right here. So let's go one more time. I will work his elbow here, but he's a very strong position now, so I need to break his grip and go for the sweep. My hand is already here, so I will lift my body a little bit to create space and pass my hand below his wrist. This hand that's doing the lever will pass him to the other side and hold his grip right there. Now I gotta throw my body over his shoulder so I can hold him. If I stay down here, he'll come over me. So here I will hold the cloth on the middle of his back. My leg from the same side of the sweep, I will step to the side of his leg to work as a support for me. Now I will bring his body over me and make the sweep. When I make the sweep, I will change grips. I will make the pressure and sit over him. So this is the grip. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna do. Now you're trying to hold both hands here, and that won't work. The best way to do is to pull my hands up a little bit and pass your arm below my. Now you take my arm to the other side, and now you hold in the middle of my back. There you go. You make the sweep. Now you change grips. Now from here you will posture up that way. That's perfect. Now you lift your knee that way. Now from here you can work the arm lock, or you can pull it to my back. For here you can even do the katagatame. The katagatame is a very good move right there. There you go. Or Ezekiel. So this is what we will do here. We will work his arm. He will posture up and I will block myself. Now I will work this lateral push to work the sweep. Now if I do this, he'll make defense. So I will use his arm as a lever to take his arm to the other side and change grips. Again, I will come to his back and make the sweep. If I only sweep it this way, it's too easy. The ideal way is to sweep this way. You gotta have some kind of support on this side. So notice that from here I can't break his grip. So I will pass my arm below his wrist and pass his arm. Now I will step on the side to create the support to make the sweep. Now my right leg will push him to make the sweep. Now I'm over him. Now, first important thing from here, my heel is on his ribs. Look how my foot is on the back. My foot is live. I'm sitting over my foot. The first move I will do here, I'll change grips, make the pressure on his neck, and go for the arm lock. Thumbs up, his head is pointing that way, and I'll bring his head like this. Ideally, his head would be like this. If he puts his head that way, he'll try to escape down there. But since I'm locking my knees together, he won't go anywhere. So he's holding my collars. I will posture up, pass my wrist below his arm, and take his hand to the other side. I'll change grips and go for his back. Remember that I'm holding the middle of his back. I will step on the side as a support and will roll for the sweep. I will stop over him. I will change grips again, pass over him, and stop here on the arm lock. Notice the position of his head. My heel will block his face. And I have to change grips. I will come here. So when I'm falling down, I gotta change grips here, because if he tries to stand up, my hand on the other side will hold him. If I doesn't have that hand, he'll be able to defend and come up. So when I fall down, I will fall changing hands. So I'm holding his elbow and he's blocking. Now I'll pass my wrist below his wrist, switch hands to the side, and attack his back. I will go for the sweep and posture up. I will switch arms right here. When I change arms here, I can hold my collar to block him. My hand goes on his face. Now I'll pass the arm lock, and notice how I change grips here. This is very important. And his hand is up. Here, he'll pass my arm to the other side. He'll keep holding the grip on my sleeve and goes for my back. He steps to the side and makes the sweep. Here, he'll change grips again. The one on my collar goes to my face. He goes for the arm lock, change hands, and go down. Here I will block his elbow. Let's say I can't bring with both of my hands. I will lift my hips a little bit and release his elbow to the other side. Now I will hold in the middle of his back and step down as for support. Now I'll go for the sweep and I'll be over him. Now let's say I have my arm in between his arm and his face, and he's blocking me so I can go. I'm going straight for the katagatame. Let's say I can't move from here. Now I will go for the katagatame. Notice that when I bring my hand here, I will lock his shoulder. My cheek is on his tricep, and I'm going to be looking towards that way. I will get out of the mount and put my legs on the side. I'll put my hands together, and he's already tapping. With this katagatame, I'm not only choking him, I'm making the pressure of my arm, of the knife as we call, on the back of his cervical. That's why he taps faster. So one more time, I'm holding his arm and I can't do anything. I will lift my hips a little bit and take his arm to the other side. Once I lock it there, I'll grab the center of his back, step to the side and make the sweep. Now I will change arms here, and let's say that he's blocking me and I can't do anything. Now he'll defend his head to avoid me from coming up. Now what I'll do is, with this hand, I will dive it as much as I can and go to his shoulder. When I have my hand on his shoulder, I'll put my cheek on his tricep to block his arm from coming back. With my left arm, I will hug my elbow on the other side. And from here, I will change my legs to the other side, and I'll get out of the mount, and I already have pressure over him. He'll hold my arm, he'll pass my arm to the other side, hold my back, and make the sweep. Now from here, here's what I'll do. To block, I will put my arms over him. He'll pass his arm below my head and put his hand over my shoulder. Now he'll get out of the mount. He'll put his arms together. Now you will walk a little bit. Straight your leg. You got to straight both legs and put your hips down. Now I will lock his head here. Notice this. I gotta get his head. Put some pressure on his shoulder. If I do it with my hands down, he can move his head. When I bring my hands in and put my hands like this, he can't move it, and I still have the back of his neck on my arm. Look how his head is down, and here how his head is up. Look at his face. You can tell when it hurts and when it doesn't. Second part, look at my right hand. I will always work this hand at the height of his bicep, because this will block him from pummeling. And this way I will not lose the position. So I gotta lock his bicep right here. And when I'm doing this, I will put my elbow at the same level of his ribs, because when he tries to pummel, he'll push his body against himself. So his body is working as a wall against himself. This is the 100 kilos position. Notice the position of my legs in the back. My right leg is bent. So because this way I will block his rib. Otherwise he will put his leg below me. This way I'm locking his legs. And my other leg, which is straight, is for him to not hold my leg and not put his arm around my leg. So when I straighten my leg, I kill this movement against my hip. And mainly, my chest is against his chest. I'm not too backwards or forwards. From here, I'm sure that I can put all of my weight over him. So notice this. I have to always be looking towards that way. If I look this way, I can make a movement. I can move my spine here and get out of his. If he assures that I'm looking that way, I can't do much. And if I do too much move to the other side, I will hurt my back. See? If I look that way, I can move my back and can do much. I can do a lot more from here. Now, since his leg is bent and my head is looking towards that way, my angle of movement here is restricted. I can't do much from here. Another thing, when he blocks my bicep here, I lose all the mobility that I have from here. And third point, I can't put my left elbow below him because he's putting his rib against the ground. Now, this is the perfect 100 kilos. We're gonna use it a lot for the next moves.